この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone, and happy Dungeon Day. It is once again Tuesday, and we come back around for Dungeon Meshi episode 21. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I had a pretty crazy one, pretty packed with stuff, and I'm actually going to talk about it for a second. First, last episode, primarily, we were incorporating Izutsumi, formerly Asebi, but now we know that that's not really her name, and also probably not the name that she prefers. So I'm going to do my darndest to not call her Asebi. Her name is Izutsumi. And she followed us, and now she's a fucking party member. I really thought, before the OP started playing that last time, I really thought she's just going to be hanging around for a little while. It's going to be like Namari, where she's there for 2 episodes, and then something's going to happen and she's going to disappear. But no! She's a perfect addition to the party, and we get to see over the course of the episode why. She's capable in combat, but most importantly, I think she's ideologically misaligned. She does not agree with the way that they do things, and she doesn't understand the way that they do things. She doesn't have reason to understand or to agree with or to like the things that they do unless we can convince her with yummy snacks and things getting better, things being better overall. Izutsumi is not used to interacting with people as part of a team, as part of a party, as part of a family or an extended found family. None of that, tracks for her. She is fearlessly, ruthlessly independent and don't need no party. But she does, though, especially down here where she would be left all alone without the ability to survive. She does need other people. And there are things that have happened, little interactions in her past that lead in that direction that she's been able to sort of ignore for a long, long time. Until now, until she meets this group of freaking weirdos, and we're going to do some. We're gonna rescue this stray cat. I think. I think I really like that. I like that she shakes things up. That she's got an additional counterpoint to the attitude that we've kind of settled into amongst the party. And she's willing to shake things up further and call people like Marcel out on going along with things that they don't actually want to do and sort of question everything. The introduction of Izutsumi forces everybody to sort of question everything. And I like that. I like that she's a challenge to the status quo that I think is going to force us to grow, at least in the way that you have to if you want to allow your ideas to spread to people who aren't currently aligned with you, who don't already agree with them. It's easy to convince people who already have a strong attachment to food and ecosystems and the nature of dungeons and adventuring that dungeoneering and eating monsters is probably not a bad thing, and the certain ways that Senshi goes about things and the interconnectedness of everything and us as a part of that interconnected ecosystem. You could convince somebody who already agrees with those things fairly easily, and they'll go along with it and eat monsters, and it's fine. And we get that to some extent with Chilchuck and Marcel. They'll go along with it. Izutsumi, no basis, no bearing, no grounding, no desire to do that, disagrees with you entirely, and doesn't want to listen to you anyway. What a perfect introduction. What a perfect character to really shake things up and force our characters to re-justify themselves and sort of come to a greater understanding of their own viewpoint on everything. I think that's really neat, and I really like it. So this past weekend, my weekend was packed. Oh my God, there's so much stuff. We had a usual sort of Friday hangout, in part to not raise suspicion, because the day after that, on Saturday, we had set up a big ol' secret surprise birthday party for my roommate slash landlord, who is turning 40. And we set up at a venue and things with catering and all the thing. We set up a big surprise party and told him it was a baby shower, and he showed up with diapers. Shows up, it's not a baby shower. But the reason I bring it up is because there were over 100 people at this dude's 40th birthday party. I'm good friends with this guy. I've known him for almost approaching 10 years now. And what struck me was how many people were there and how each of them was connected to him in some way. And knowing him and knowing the way that he interacts with the world and the way that he lives, the amount of work, although it might not have looked like it at the time, but work spread out over the course of years has gone into forming those relationships and creating that network, that sort of social web of people who care about him. And I was pretty struck by that because it's hard not to sort of compare, and I don't have that. I don't have that. On the first order of business, my, like, closest family members are fairly estranged from me, and on the second layer, I have a few close friends, but very few that are long-term, long-term friends. Um, Attachments sort of come and go, and in truth, I don't have, like, I don't know what I'm not sure what I'm reaching for here. I don't have strategies strategies for bringing people together and creating community and fostering that and, like, consciously generating it. Um, which is strange because I also hold the firm belief that those things are crucially important for yourself and for community and for the people around you. So the experience sort of makes me think that I need to change something, that I need to evaluate and try to determine a way that I could foster communities of my own. Because I don't think jealousy or envy is the right word for it. That's not it. It's more stemming out of something like admiration. I really admire someone who, at 40, maybe halfway, maybe a third of the way through their life, has gathered dozens and dozens of people and made positive impacts on their life such that they want to celebrate his continued existence. For some reason, I was thinking about that in relation to Dungeon Meshi and in relation to the party and the team and the dynamic of friendship that's been generated and the introduction of this outsider character who doesn't really understand those things. Um, I don't really have a conclusion to this either. It's just something that has struck me as very interesting and might serve as a guidepost or a beacon of something that I want to move toward in my own life. Um, I want to figure out ways to facilitate long lasting connections, and there are some that I have facilitated, and there are some, but not to that extent and not to that number, and I don't think that I'll be the way that I'm built. I don't think that I want 100 friends at my 40th birthday party. That seems like a lot. But, like, 10, 15 people who really good friendships, who really wanna be there, I think that's about a decade away from me. I'm 31. I'll be turning 32 in a couple of months. Um, I'd like to dedicate a portion of my next 8, 10 years to trying to accomplish some of that, to trying to make positive impacts in the lives of real people who I know physically in the real world, um, in a way that's, like, reciprocal and fair and creates genuine friendships and can improve their lives and improve mine by their presence. Um, a part of that has been running D&D, but that's kind of inherently limited. You can only run for so many people, and the kinds of connections that you make during that are extraordinary because you're delving into fantasy worlds together, you're doing things together. But I don't know I don't know how else to go about meeting and creating strong relationships with people in the modern world. It's not hard to do a facsimile of it online, and I'm really grateful for the online communities that I have and am at the center of. The Discord for the Patreon is active, and I rely on it very heavily for a source of connection with other people, but it's not quite the same, is it? It doesn't you know, no matter how good I am at running a Discord or creating an online community, those people probably won't be at my birthday party. Yeah. So it just was an experience that I think will make me orient myself a little bit differently moving forward. And I'm not exactly sure how, but in the way that Izutsumi was a little bit rocked by some of her experiences in the last episode as she interacts with all this friendship and camaraderie and a group that works together and not really understanding how to fit into that or why it works the way that it does or why the individual people in it act the way that they do. I feel some relationship to that. I feel some connection to that. Um, yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to tell you about it because it's been on my mind a little bit. Oh, there's something else about the party and stuff that's related to Dungeon Meshi that I want to mention. And this is a dumb one. I eat really clean most of the time. I've been mostly eating fairly like plant-based, but I eat rice, I eat lentils, I eat vegetables, I eat fruit. I sometimes eat small amounts of meat. Very clean, right? Very little sugar, very little like highly processed candy bars. Okay. Went to a birthday party. Man, they had a lot of food, a lot of really good food, a lot of lovely food. I ate a whole bunch of food, but there's one thing that I regret, and that is that I ate a big old slice of birthday cake. I was hungover for 2 days, not from alcohol, but from birthday cake. I've never experienced that before. I feel like that's what it feels like to be getting old. I'm not sure, but I think it's just because like my system is completely not used to having sugar in it, and so like my blood sugar went rocketing up and then rocketing down and just left me in a whomped state for a while. But holy shit, real reminder to be careful what you eat, and it's not just eating enough that's important for going forward. It's eating good, nutritious food, and Senshi is right on about that. I have not had an experience quite to the like degree of whoa, I feel bad after eating that specific thing. But it was like classic birthday cake with, icing and just like 10,000 grams of sugar. And I ate the fuck out of it. It was good too. It was good. There were two cakes. There was a carrot cake and a banana cake. Yummy. Too much cake. Don't do that. Eat a balanced diet. If you want to be an adventurer, you can't be living off of birthday cake. Okay. I think that's everything about the weekend and a little bit about the previous episode. There are a couple of other things in the previous episode that I think are worth mentioning. We have our first mention of a door, a magic door that they had come down to take a drawing of for the Lord of the Dungeon when the dragon attacked. That's really cool. It's a cool little add-on that seems to me to progress us toward the book and toward the interesting things. I think the door clearly has something black magic related to it, and I'm really excited to come up against it and think about it and figure it out. I think that cool, hard to open, weirdly trapped, potentially magical doors are one of the coolest fucking things in fantasy. I love them. I also hate them because, you know, you can come up against a door and not figure out how to open it and just get stuck for hours. But it can be wonderful to get stuck for hours on a fun, weird problem. And this weird door seems like a fun, weird problem. When I was thinking about what to draw today, one of my drawing ideas was like, oh, I'm going to draw 4 doors and I'm going to make each of them a weird door and I'm going to like plug those into like my D&D stuff in the future and be like, one of my ideas was like a huge, heavy wooden door with no handle, no like way to grab it or anything, and it's pull, right? So it's got like a little bit of suction to it because it's really well built to really fit into the gaps of its doorway. So you'd have to figure out a way to put a handle on it so that you could pull it. Otherwise, it's open. It's not locked or anything. It's just a giant, heavy wooden door with air suction that's going to keep it closed. So you got to do something like embed an axe into it and yank on it to pull it open. That would be really fun. Or then like a door that wants to eat gold, that's like, "Arr, arr, arr, give me your treasures." I love coming up with dumb shit like that. But then I had a different idea for a drawing today, and that's what I'm gonna do. So let me pull the camera down and move over to drawing space and speed things up and do a little dumb scribble. I think that's most of the stuff that matters. I'm not exactly sure what color is actually in her hair. I'm just gonna put some green in there. So this, as you can tell, is massively dumb, and I'm also really happy with it. That was a lot of fun. I have been playing an immense amount of Pokemon Emerald because there's a randomizer for it, and I've been trying to Nuzlocke it, and I'm doing pretty good. I've lost a bunch of runs, but I'm doing pretty good now. see how it goes from there. I thought this would be easier than it was, because my brain kind of is so familiar with this little battle layout that it just kind of ignores all the little details that actually make this battle layout work. Like the fact that there are 3 layers of color around this green section down here. There's this red segment that if you had asked me, like without looking at it, whether there was a red portion at the bottom, I would have been wrong. I would have been like, no, it just says, what will dude do? Pokemon Bag Battle Run. Easy. It's not easy. It's like so meticulously put together, like every pixel is in a particularly interesting place. And this became really apparent when I started doing the like HP bars and realized how absolutely fucking wild Pokemon HP bars are. They've got so many little intricate layers of different little colors just to make them perfect, just perfect. Gosh, sometimes things that you think are simple are not simple. It's good to remember. It's good to remember, especially when you're like trying to bite off an art project or something like that. It's like better look where you bite before you bite down, buddy. You might break a tooth. This wasn't tooth breaking. This was really fun, but holy shit. Goddamn. It's a lot of work. All right, thank you for bearing with my craving for creation. Now let's get into the episode proper. I've got episode 21 of Dungeon Meshi up and ready to go. There will be 2 versions as usual, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon, and a beep-beep timer. Let's go. And 5. Checka. And also you! It's cool. It actually works that she doesn't show up at any point in the OP until until the falling scene. I was thinking like, oh, that doesn't, no, it works. That's when they meet her. So that like our squad of 4 does like the adventuring across the Dryad and the where we're on the other side. We're on the other side. We're on the other side. Huh? Ah. 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 Yeah, you're gonna share everything? Oh. It's the elves, isn't it? Yeah, that's elves, dude. You know it. You know it, they're already there. You know that's elves, bro. Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. The Canaries. Canaries. Oh. Oh. Everybody taking care of him. Who's gonna stop him? Shaving. Oh, but you are. Whoa, suddenly a totally different tension. Hey, what's up, guys? Why are you guys hanging out here? That's a way to put it. Kuteta. You're too late. Oh, fuck. They're in the midst of negotiations. Holy shit, Kabru. No, let's go. His quest is all over. Oh. But then? Oh. Oh. This was almost exactly the Kabru story that we predicted. Exactly what I predicted. He's trying to change the world. Oh my god. They're all so hot. She's in control, huh? She's the one in the opening thing. Yeah. Oh. This is part of its advancement? She is intimidating. He's such a pushover. Oh, fuck. Yeah, just sign here. If only I had the power. Oh, we're getting full. Uh-huh. Hmm. He hoped that they might be different. He hoped that they might be different. Ha. Oh, yeah. Wait, you were chasing after him? Yes, correct. He's got the best chance, though. Yeah, by far. Cobru's working for us on the upside. Let's go. Come on, Cobru the ally. Fuck. Like the little tiny elf. The most adventures? Yummies? The dungeon needs to eat to grow. What are we doing here? Oh, he is known to the elves. Wait, was he trained by elves? He was trained by an elf. Enlisting. He's playing it up too. Oh, he hasn't spoken yet. Does he have legs? Oh. Oh. Giving him a chance? We can go and get most of them. Holy shit, if this works, he upgrades himself so much. Whoa. Oh. Let's go, Cabru. That was crazy. That was making a bargain with the devil of devils. What was that guy's deal? Seems like all the elves were like physically perfect except him. He's like warped. Like a scrambled egg. Let the man think. Yeah. You can't unscramble that egg. That's true. Can you do that with their souls? Yeah, you whip it through, it'll coagulate them. That's how mayonnaise works. Oh, he's making hollandaise, isn't he? Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, it's basically a Benedict. Wow. Yum. Fuck. With your face. Yum. Yum. Fuck. Just need some Canadian bacon or some ham or shit. Oh, I would trust her senses. Huh? Well, he finally gets to tell them. It keeps happening. Ah. Yeah, unrelated, but that's true. They're ghosts. Oh? It's probably really helpful, man. You were lying. I really hope that we get a ghost companion. I mean, yeah. Yeah, a little bit. He did warn us, didn't he? Oh! So this is my boss. He wants your soul. Hey, homie. Oh, shit. Yeah, all right. We will take you then. Nope, you two. You're coming. Whoa, we're going into Warbledy Warpville. They took us up top wise? Or are we in an ethereal land? Is this the past? Dude, is that the kingdom? Dude, it's gotta be. What the fuck? Outside? Wait, this is like a trapped bubble world? What's going on? This is another world. Always keep the village's things on you. Or is she under the influence because of her bestial nature? What? Wait, is this the dungeon? Are we in the spiritual world of the dungeon? What the fuck is this? Them? They're like prophesied. They're like foretold. Dude, who the master is gonna be such a reveal, isn't it? It's gonna be fucking Laios or something. Yeah, they're all young. Of course. The food and the monsters. She's like fully cat reverted. Whoa. They're what we have. Oh. Hard to capture. Harder to capture than a monster? Oh my god, they're big. They're. This is underground. Wait, what? What is actually happening? And why is Izutsumi a cat? And so sleepy. They want to dress her up? They want to dress. We're going to play dress up with you. What do you need me to help with? We're going to put dresses on you. This is going to be really cute. What the fuck? What kind of Met Gala bullshit is this? They got the good stuff all over. Everything's good here. I wonder what's fucking horrifying here. Serving it to the orcs. $400 years? Excuse me? So. Okay. Cool, man. What? What parallel dimension is this? Where are we? A sexual awakening. That's great. Why is she so sleepy? That's gotta be the secret to this. What? You're pretty. Oh yeah, that. All the fabric. She's half under control of a thing. We're in some really magical stuff. Yeah, staying here forever might be the point. The master. Is he here? Or she? Hi, Yad. What? Yeah! That's gonna be next episode, isn't it? No, we got minutes. We got the minutes. Oh my god, it's just like what we make. Monsters, of course. Who would have done that? They're all ghosts. They're all ghosts. This is just a world where they can kind of continue. Okay. So we are in the dungeon. This is Ghost World. He was no longer in a state to hold proper conversations. It's like pirates. It's probably delicious, especially the ribs. From within the dungeon, and that's when he crumbles, right? He came out and then he fell away. Sorry, your dad is dust. Freedom? Oh. Oh. So this isn't an ethereal place. This is a physical place? One of them led us here. Fuck, yeah, that's right. Oops. They're here. The ones foretold. Oh, is he now? It sure does. It didn't always have a lion's face, though. because it was just the gem front side. The lion is in the dungeon? Whoa. Please tell us. Oh, I don't think so. Yeah. No, no, no. Say no. Say no. Yeah, it's never been like real to him. What makes you think it's false? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, for the Minotaur ribs? Oh, time to teach them. No, they're trying to live, right? What else are you gonna do, man? It's not like you have video games. A process, a continuation. Mm. One big bed. Yeah. This episode is nuts. This is nuts. As far as story development, this is nutty. Bunch of things that have been like sort of Damocles hanging for a while suddenly drop. Suddenly the ropes snap. And shit's like popped off. Cabru on the surface. Oh my god, MVP. I'm so glad that we get finally to meet the elves of the West. They're so interesting. They're so intimidating. That whole scene was really cool. That was really fun. This episode is full of surprises, full of things that I absolutely did not expect us to be doing right now. I thought we were going to continue on trucking in the dungeon, and in a sense, we sort of do for the second half of the episode, but turning our attention for the first half up to the surface and building so much tension over the world altering stakes level of things, having this sort of threat of the elves pressing down, and it like forces and changes Kabru's game, and it alters the whole political sphere up around everything, and and changes like the foundations of everything. All the foundations threatens to threatens to cause the dungeon to be closed off, which then makes our party probably the only ones still in it at any level of depth, and gives us kind of like one free chance with no competition to get down there and get it done. What an interesting move from Kabru. What an interesting, like, instantly we're in a chess game that we didn't realize we were a part of as soon as we walk into that room, and it filters out and gives us a bunch of information about Kabru's past and the way that the elves actually work and the nature of dungeons themselves. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. And there are only like little snippets of characterization for each of the elf characters, but each of them is so distinct and so interesting. Like the tall guy who's standing with his arm draped over the chair is like the worm tongue in your ear manipulator, like, yes, yes, king, sign the thing, yes, king. Whereas, shit, I forget her name. It's like Cyric or something like that. The dark elf who acts as the leader of them and seems very clearly to be the leader until the soft-spoken, shifted-eyed male speaks, and then it's clear that he's got great power amongst them too. Whoa, the whole thing. And then you have like very childlike elves speaking and the distinct impression that they're like 600 years old and probably don't fuck around with them. What a scene we walk into. And it's chock full of little funny things in the background, but they very much take a background to pushing all of that forward. And then the way that we interact in the sort of spiritual place, like, I actually don't understand the physics of it. And I don't need to, it doesn't matter that much. Is this a physical location in the dungeon? Is this the next layer? They've just gotten dragged here by ghosts? It seems like it sort of must be, right? They still have their physical bodies and are in this space that's safe, that's like maintained and frozen, but they're trapped by the curse and unable to die. And if they try to like leave, they lose their flesh and become those spirit monsters which we turned into ice cream. Wow. And they have no bearing, no understanding of the outside. They don't know what Delgal did. They don't know that the dungeon really exists the way that it does. They don't understand what Thistle has been up to. The whole thing just feels like it's been blown wide open. And this is one of the coolest things. I've been talking a lot in Heavenly Delusion, a different show that I've been watching every week, about information, like holding and withholding information and really controlling the flow of information to the audience. Here we get a huge amount of information. It feels like it should blow the whole thing open, and yet I still end up stuck on a bunch of the little mysteries of it. Like, okay, so who's doing the magic that's making this particular town like work and safe the way that it is? Is that Thistle who's doing that as part of the curse on the dungeon to keep everybody safe and sane? Does he know that the child of Delgal is still there and still kind of alive? Because he's out there hunting for Delgal, but he could talk to the child of Delgal, be like, "What's up? Where's your dad? Oh, your dad's been gone for 600 years. Maybe I fucked up." There are also there's so many interesting things about this. It's so strange. It's so strange. It expands our world so much, both into the overworld and the reality of things, and into the kind of the underworld, and almost like a heavenly variant of the darkness of the dungeon. It's like this is an idyllic location where the only flaw is that it's stuck this way, that there's no moving on from here. And we get that a piece of that when Delgal's son, when Yad, when Yad says, like, well, at least there's something to know that his suffering has ended, right? Which means that they're all suffering similarly, and that all of them would probably be down for, like, ending of the suffering. Holy shit. Holy shit. There are some details, there's some moments, there's some bits and bobs in this episode. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on through it, Reen with all the torn up clothes. Everybody looking out at the window. Don't touch the window. Apparently touching the windows will disrupt the teleportation. And then in the background, taking Toshiro's armor off and combing his hair and shaving his face and everything, just doting on him in the background as he just talks to everybody. It's so funny. It's so weird. Are you going to share everything with him. Well, there's no need specifically to bring up Laios in his party, which I think is a big change. Which I think is a big change from what Toshiro was going to do. I just don't want Fallen to take any more lives. Fair. Fair. Hey, a huge ship! Who could fuck? That's elves, baby. You know it. Come on, like white wood. That comes from magic forests carved by magic elves. Hey, buddy, I think we should go right now. The Western Elves are here, and it's not just the Western Elves, it's the Canaries. Canaris. And at this point, he tells us a chunk of his backstory, and we get filtered bits of it through later when he's actually interacting with the elves. He was, in part at least, raised by an elf, like a commander amongst them, it seems, and probably trained to fight as well. And he was interested in joining their force. Maybe the Canaries themselves, but maybe like a different elven military. He was interested in joining them, but came up against racial tension, up against racism. Which, let's be fair, if you're all a fighting force and you all live for 1,000 years, why would you put the effort into training a dude who's going to live to 40? It's like, pfft, what's the point? But still, this places a bit of Kabru's purpose and like goal orientation. Here's somebody who is probably like way overqualified and overskilled, but couldn't join the force that he wanted to be a part of. And now he's off on his own and he's having to focus on the adventuring, the adventurers. He tries to do it himself and realizes it won't work. And then he becomes really interested in other people and how they make it work and how he could help them. And that leads him around to Laios. It really creates the buildup of pretty much all the pieces of like, okay, why is Kabru so interested in adventures and interested in people in this way? What made that like grow? What like what fostered that within him? That's cool. Okay, so the Canaries show up when a dungeon's danger level reaches a certain point. Their mission is to investigate and take control of dungeons. They were already applying pressure to the Lord, which we knew, but now they're really cracking down. Is that even permitted? This land is Tallman land. But they don't care because short-lived races are like infants, so it doesn't matter. They'll come in, they'll sweep in, they will manipulate us. It doesn't even matter if they like destroy and have to do it in a nefarious way because they can just, wait for it to fall off of their credit record, wait a few dozen years, but in the situation with the dungeon, they need to act now. And so they're able to push over the Lord of the Dungeon because he's weak and shitty. Wow. Cool to see some familiar faces. What's up, folks? Where's Fallen? This little shake of head and her little somber standing there is pretty cool. Were they eating monsters, by the way? No, we're gonna go see the Lord of the Island. No, we're too late. We can't go in there. We can't. No, we have to. And he tells us this little story. My hometown was thriving because of a dungeon. Dungeons are a resource, right? But one day, monsters flooded out. Then the elves came, and many lost their lives. Why did my family have to die? My mother didn't deserve to die like that. So I don't want to see that happen. The existing system where only certain races wield power is detrimental to everyone. Powerful through line. That's a strong background through line for your show or for your manga, right? It's like fundamental sociocultural problems, racism, structural issues in the way that people treat each other. These lead to a lot of problems between us. If only we could work together. That's cool, and having a character who's ideologically oriented against those forces makes him somebody that I really am down to root for. Wham, boom. Gosh, just this shot is really cool to me. It's so simple because it's just a static shot of a bunch of characters that we pan over. But they all take up space and there's characterization built into them already. From the younger looking, I don't really know, but short-haired one with the little eyelash things and almost like they might be scratches or different features on the face. A couple of them have almost like Celtic scarification is what it looks like to me. Not quite tattoos, but like scarification. That one in the background, that definitely looks like scarification to me. It's really interesting. Like a totally different set of cultures, and there's such diversity amongst them. They're not a monolith of like, we are the blonde tall elves from El Caldrathor, and we don't have emotions. Bah. They're not like that. They're totally all over the place. You got tiny, but is going to murder you. Tiny and cute and femme, but also dark circles under the eyes and a little bit spooky. And then this dark elf in the front has these piercing eyes, and she's framed as tall and almost imposing throughout. And then they've grabbed a voice actress for her who has a really like steady delivery, or at least the capacity to do it as a character. I think of like when we have really well done queens and royalty or ruler level characters who have a little bit of haughtiness but aren't too self-centered, who are pretty on the level. That's the sort of vibe that I get from her and from her voice actor, and I really like her. I think it's really cool. Just this pan over and this circumstance we get into. And then she's almost Marcille-esque, right? Like they're almost close, similar in age, perhaps, and with hair done up as well, and also sort of buttoned up, kind of put together, as opposed to sort of slumped over and sleeping a little bit and worming his way into the Lord of the Island's ear and being the pressure and then being the whole of the thing. And then he's sitting here silently observing and only speaking when he's needed. Ooh, it's cool. It's cool. And then there's the little fairy. Is that an elf? Is that a fairy? Is that just an elf? How do elves work? What? They all shapes and sizes? What's up with that? I don't know. Please let us make a report. As you can see, we're doing something. I want to look her up. I want to look her up. Who are you? Sithis or Kithis, I suppose, but I think it's Sithis. Sithis Offrey. And I did see some names for the other ones, but I kind of just ignored them. Sithis Offrey is Hana Takeda. Deneve in Claymore. Satoshi in Pokemon 2019. But only the 2019 one? Not all the Pokemon? Not all the Pokemon. She's one of the fairies in one of the Precures, and Sithis, and not that much else. She's got a great voice. I think that she should be in more. Oh, she's a main character in Ikitosen, of all things. Not exactly the high class lady of the house type of vibe that her voice gives off, but that's cool. Okay. We're doing something. Please leave. Actually, this is important. Please hear us out. They all look at each other and they all speak and speak. But he's actually used to dealing with elves. This isn't his first time. I mustn't be intimidated. They chatter, I assume, in Elvish. Kanketsuni. So just a little bit ago, we saw something bad. And they all really, really react to that. They were like not going to hear him out. Then this is familiar to them. I really like her eyes. Like lines in them. They're almost like JoJo character eyes. Crazy. I wonder what kind of magic she does. Also, I wonder, she's got little notches, like docks in her ears. I wonder what's up with that. Do any of the others? Yeah, a number of them do. They all do except for her. Huh. I don't know if there's anything to that, but they all have little notches in their ears. Okay. And I don't think Marcille does either. They all do really consistently, and she really doesn't. Damn it, a chimera. This is not unfamiliar. So this is, or something like it, because this might be different. Like, they might just be assuming that this is the same deal. This is like part of the normal progression of dungeons. They start fusing monsters and humans together. That's really strange. That's really interesting. Because it took a lot of doing. It took a lot of, like, strange circumstances to actually make that happen. I wonder. And then they almost seem to treat dungeons as though they're a life form, as though they have their own motivations and goals and their own sort of stages of progression. And it's kind of because of that that Kabru's argument is able to land. Damn it, a chimera, it's advancing quicker than we thought. Like, we thought this was going to happen, just not this soon. See, what did I tell you? We can't afford to leisurely wait for a response. So that's why they've come here and actually come. Order them to come ashore at once. So the army or the military force is in the boat still. You have no right. He's still fighting for it. Borders become inconsequential when lives are at stake. That's a really good line if you are an imperial hegemon or a similar authority. Creates a perfect excuse for you to bring force and control an area, right? Oh, lives are at stake. Let's bring in our military to fix things and be hailed as heroes for saving things. And then we'll just set up shop and never leave. There's power in dungeons. They want them, right? They don't want to destroy the dungeon. There's a reason that the elves investigate and take control of these places, and it's not for altruism, right? Not completely. It's control. This is obviously a place of power. She's beautiful with all the little hair strands and things. She's beautiful. I only got to see like the image from the manga and like one still frame of her when I put her in the like pre I don't know, the intro thing. She's gorgeous, and the color of her eyes is crazy, matched with the gold and stuff. It's crazy. It almost gives reptilian or serpent-like, even without slits or anything like that. And it feels like she's looking straight through you. You have no right to treat me as elderly. Tansu, let it happen, man. Let it happen, man. It's fine. Whatever, dude.
Sasuga Shimanushi dono.
Sasuga Shimanushi dono. Oh, just as I would expect from such a brilliant lord. Yes, please. Just sign here, 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 and here. And please write your social security number there. I really like his tattoo scarification-y things. They're cool. I wonder if they're magic. He's got DNA, or something quite similar to it, you know. That's neat. That didn't work. It just gave them the ammunition they need to make the move, right? So now Kabru is like sweating and sweating. He's got to come up with a better play. If only I had the power to take control of the dungeon, there wouldn't be an issue. Because I would just take control of the dungeon and stop all these problems and it would be fine. Ta-da! This feels to me like the first stage in absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? The first stage is like, I have no power. Gosh, it would be great if I had power. If only I had power, I would change everything for the better, and I would definitely not do anything evil with it or cause more problems, right? Of course not, because I don't have motivation to do that. I'm not in a position of power. All I want is to make things better. Yeah, but if you actually take the journey to get there, will you still be wanting that? Will you still be the same person on the other side with power that you were when you wanted the power for good reasons? No. Almost never. Almost never, and it's a very strange thing. But when you look in our real world at people who seek, pursue, and achieve power for positive goals, they are very often corrupted by it. And that sucks. It's like, I don't have a complete explanation for it. I know that there are people who can avoid it, who can, like, hold power without it destroying them. And we do tell stories in fiction about that kind of person as well. The leaders and people who find themselves in a position to make change happen and do so in a way that doesn't, like, that's not self-focused. But man, it's fucking hard. It's strange, but I think of Guardians of the Galaxy as a crystal clear example of this kind of a story. There's a powerful thing. If only you had the power to wield it yourself, you could be a god! You could change everything for the better, but it totally warps and destroys anybody who touches it. The only way that you can hold it even a little bit is by holding it as a group, as a team, by sharing that weight and not being the single sole arbiter of the future. Kabru, as he is now, has all the makings of a good dungeon ruler. Like, yeah, he's got the right motivations and whatnot, but how would it change him if it actually happened? We won't find out because I don't think he's destined to actually fix it. Not really. But it was beyond me. So I began searching for ways to assist other capable adventurers, but most of them weren't on the path. So just as I resolved to do it myself, I heard rumors about them. Good instincts, but he's too selfless. And we see it in paintings. I like this. The more I looked, the stranger he seemed. Not that strong, and yet he makes it further than most. Strange. He gives money to people who don't deserve it. His background is unknown, and his squad is weird. Daughter of an armorer who fled for corruption. Senshi, question. Shady mercenary from the east. Little sister from magic school. Mysterious woman. Half-foot boss. Yeah, it's all really funny. I had a hunch that he might play a big part, but for better or for worse. And so it seems like on the overworld, Kaoru was like chasing after Laios a bunch. And Laios was completely oblivious because he's an idiot who only cares about monsters. And this folds into Kaoru thinking that he absolutely can't do it. It absolutely should not be him. He is not capable of being like a ruler of a place. But he is the closest. By far. And this could be his only chance. So, this is where Kaoru changes from being like, he's interesting, to be like, Kaoru MVP. The only human who has a chance is Laios, so I'm going to back his play, and I'm going to try to keep the elves from investigating and interfering with it. That's so cool. Like, I disagree. I don't think he's the best person for the job. I am. And yet, he's the one who's going to get the job, and so I'm going to back his play. Wow, Kaoru, like what it takes to step back from yourself and your own goals and motivations and to push somebody else forward as the potential champion and then deal with him later. Fucking awesome. Kaoru's faces all throughout this are spectacular. Even the one that's far away in the wide back there. But here he gets this set in his eyes, kind of like when he's fighting. Wow. The Lord goes, oh, do whatever, it's fine. My lord, yay, thank goodness. Give the order to come ashore. I want to see the little appearance of the sparkle. Oh, it's from a little... Bah! God, that's so cute. Bah! Wait, hold on, please. Everything about the dungeon is changing. They're like, yeah, we know, it's fine. And she's like so angry. A couple of them are. It's like, how dare this stupid idiot child human tell us stuff that we already know? Ugh. That's natural. It's fine. We must halt it without delay. He argues that the dungeon itself needs to feed. Needs to feed. It's growing. It's consuming. We've done this before where we've framed the dungeon as though it's a living thing itself, but this is even a little bit closer to direct. It needs to feed. 15 years ago, he tells his story. Utaya. That means, are you the kid who survived? And we know that she was there because we saw her in the squad. I heard that the vice commander at the time took you in, so looking forward to meeting this vice commander. That's right. For a few years. She must have doted on you, and yet you became an adventurer. So what would be the other expectation? Like, she doted on you, and so you became a servant in her household? Like, what was he supposed to do? A knight who serves her? I don't know. He says that he dreamt of enlisting, but there was the racial barrier. So he wanted to do what he could, and he starts playing it up. Like, we know Kaoru. This could be legit, because he is talking about his dead family and stuff, but we saw him thinking through that, like thinking through it, really connecting to it with almost no emotion to him except what he's already processed and the motivations that generates for him. He's like, that's why I was going into the dungeon. That's why I gotta solve these things. I want to make sure that none of that happens. It's all like locked down. It's not something that would create this emotional response from Kaoru. So he's manipulating them with this. He's using it. It's real. It's real. It's not fake, but he's playing it up. I wanted to do what I could. I'm just a poor, foolish, short-lived human trying to save a few people if only I can. Just like my mother. Just like just like the people that I lost. And this plays in because it's like me with my elf training. I want to be good to these people, and the turn that they have, it's almost like they become family a little bit, like the family at Thanksgiving. They're like, oh, are you getting enough to eat? You're like doing okay. You should visit the vice commander and tell her that you're good and everything's well. And then he speaks.
それで
Sorede. It's like, yeah, and you've made this emotional appeal and it works on a bunch of them, but it doesn't touch him. He's not been interested in anything so far except calling that out. So you said nourishment.
栄養が
What about it? Tell us more. And at this point, something about the framing changes. We've got all eyes on Kabru now. And we do this shot of him and then this shot of Kabru with the little thing. Just the angle choice is off. You know what I mean? It's off. We're looking down on him and he feels it's detailed and it's crisp, but he feels like locked in, like being observed. Thanks to what you guys did in Utaya, the dungeon collapsed slowly, but many lost their lives, including a bunch of elves. The dead turned into monsters and ate people alive, and ambushed many soldiers from behind. So if we do that again, it's gonna be hellish. We gotta do a different story. So let's seal the dungeon and avoid feeding it. We start putting like foreground objects in front of the characters. Like there was none of that up until this point.
戦闘で迷宮が破損
It's interesting. It's like things have gotten clouded and complicated. We must not feed it. You also don't want to damage it through combat. They want something from it. So what about the adventurers? We can get them out. I know I can reach for people. This guy ate monsters? Yeah, sure. Recognizing something interesting about Kabru. And then in that moment, he whooshes away from him, almost like, whoa, I do not understand this guy that I thought I understood. He is separate from me. It's cool, visually cool. Begin preparations for an investigation.
何か企んでいるのだろう
You're up to something, aren't you? Okay, I want to find his voice. Mithrun Koki Uchiyama. Oh my god, that's Meruem. That's Hunter x Hunter Meruem. It's also Kei Tsukishima from or Tsuki from Haikyuu. Very recognizable to me. And Izumi from Horimiya. Oh, and Toge from Jujutsu Kaisen, voice guy. Oh, he's Tomura Shigaraki in Hiroaka as well. Wow. Wow, and Akira Fudo in Devilman Crybaby. Wow, he's so many fucking people. That's cool. What a voice for this. Meruem, though, that tracks, right? That, like, slow, super measured, but incredibly sinister, loaded with lots of power vocal tone. It works so perfectly here. Oh, that's so good. You're up to something, aren't you? Well, you're insistent, so we'll see what you can do. And again, it's like they're elves. There might be things in play that they could lose, but they got the time frame. It's fine. They can just send in troops when they need to. Like, you don't really have a choice. You've bought some time, though. Am I clear? Yes. And the little thing got squeezed. Poor thing. Yeah, you're clear. Oh my gosh, what an interaction. Like half an episode, all dialogue around a table with some like flashes to the city that he was talking about and stuff. That's so cool. And it expands our world so much. So much expansion to the world. Okay, big eggs poached in water, making yummies, and talking about souls and eggs. If two souls were blended together, what would that be like? Well, it'd be like scrambled, right? Yeah? It's interesting. Oh, it has something to do with. Well, I mean, like this, the body and the spirit being separated is kind of cool. You could think of that as yolk and white. But then, if they coagulate at different temperatures, can you use that to solidify the white out of a scrambled egg and descramble the egg? Like, And then to extend it to the metaphor, could you extract one soul scrambled out of the other soul? Feels like you might be able to. And then we talk a little bit about emulsions, right? Which is a blend of things where you get really fine, essentially microparticulate micro droplets of oil suspended in a water base, or vice versa, I think. I'm not sure. But that's two things that are completely coagulated. They're completely together, but they are independent. It's not that there's a chemical change that's gone to the oil and to the water. They've integrated in a way that they're actually separable with like centrifuging and other shit. Does that mean that we could use some magic centrifuging or whatever the magic equivalent is of like very specific temperature gradation rising to like boil off the dragon out of the soul and get the extract fallen out? Maybe. That would be cool. Eggs have so many different properties after all. Coagulation at different temperatures. They can be whipped, they can serve as an adhesive, and they can even emulsify. And he's creating an emulsification right now, making essentially a hollandaise, which is hard. If you've ever made hollandaise, you've probably broken a hollandaise. It's hard because you're trying to make sure that the emulsification doesn't break. So you've got to get the heat just right, and if you get the heat too high, I think it's the proteins denature, and that prevents it from sticking together, and it breaks. I wonder if it's similar trying to blend two things together into a chimera, if you've got to have like the right magical temperature reached in order to prevent them from breaking. And if it breaks in the right way, can we separate the broken parts out? That would be really cool. Fetch me the bread. Yum, yum, bread. What is this? It's the ghost. It's the spirit. I see. And she clocks it because she's got good senses. These look beautiful, super delicious. How do you eat it? Yummily. Yummily with deliciousness. And then Izutsumi's looking around. Hey, why I thought I sensed a present. What? It's real! He doesn't even realize that this guy has been real the whole time. So you could hear me all along, huh? Hey, I'm not evil. He's just a guy. But he has somebody to meet. Aren't you grateful I saved you? Yes, actually. Yes, take us to this person. And then it's all hands. Wah! And we do this warp thing. Wah! I really like the way that the warped faces and bodies look. It's pretty cool. And we emerge in paradise. Like truly for Laios, like truly paradise, right? Monsters everywhere. The golden castle. So, how? Wait, how's their sky? What is going on here? Are we in a reality marble? Is this like literally a place, or is this all spiritual in its nature? Are they physical bodies that are actually in a literal location, like a layer of the dungeon that just feels like this? I don't know. It's mystical. This feels so magical to just jump into this place that I really like it, and I like that I can't answer the questions about it. No, we were in the dungeon and there's a big deal. Come with me. And Izutsumi's all sleepy-eepy. Something about the monster stuff. Monsters are tame. All these monsters that we've been familiar with, hanging out and being with people, they're under orders not to hurt us. But you outsiders are different. Outsiders to the dungeon, yeah. Always keep the village's things on you. So that feels like a Chekhov setup. Like if you don't have something of the village on you, the monsters won't know that you're of the village, and they'll treat you like you're just in the dungeon. Izutsumi is acting like she's been given catnip or something. It's very strange. They are residents here. So do the ghosts that come here, are they fully physicalized, or do they stay as like separated spirits? I'm not sure. Chosen. Wow. There are so many lines that feel like they have extra meaning. They're here. It's them. These guys. Yeah, they've all been waiting for them. It's like a big moment. The prophesied ones. Hooray! Yay! Monsters and fields. He's like a cat, like a full child. He's so happy. And so is he. He's so happy. Without the fields, there's nothing for us to do. We're maintaining them to replicate our lifestyle from above ground. Then the dress thing is really cute and fun. The one dress that we actually get to see her in is so crazy. What insane fashion. I kind of love it. I think it's kind of baller. Yeah, 600 years of making beer. Oh no, he was 600 years old when he started. 1,000 years have gone by. Wow. Look at the farm. Her dress is awesome. There's one moment where she goes and sits down that we really emphasize the fabric and the way that it moves. Oh, and I really like this moment when she's like, yeah, when she has all these expressions and gets all goofy and then shakes her head a bunch. It's really cute. A barrier that reduces aggression in monsters. That would be really useful. But she can't get it. If it weren't for the situation, I'd have loved to remain here forever. Yeah, it's wonderful here. Oh, and the lions? The lions? Yod! Yod of all people, grandson of Delgal. So Delgal's son was also down here. So he was alive when the whole thing changed, when everything shifted and was frozen here as such, I guess. Oh. I don't see the bladefish loaf. Oh, I guess it must be this one. Because I thought that was just vegetables and aspic as well. That one's the vegetables and slime aspic. Fucking awesome. Monster food. As specifically requested. I don't have to eat it all. We don't experience hunger. That's the curse of immortality. Why? By the time I was old enough to understand, he was no longer in a state to hold proper conversations. So you guys still aged up to a certain point, but then stopped. Interesting. But it pleases us to watch others eat. So he was the same age then, and that's when Delgal left for the surface, seeking existence, and he doesn't know how that went. Now he finds out, and he's just totally nonplussed by it. At least there's some solace in knowing that he's been liberated from suffering. Many have left to escape, but they've only lost their flesh, and then their identities, become fiends, and cannot return. We have encountered them. So why are we here? Why do you want us here? You are the chosen ones, the prophesied heroes. There will come one bearing a winged sword who will defeat the lunatic magician and free us. As soon as this was said, I was trying to think of like a finagly way where that could be not Laios. It's pretty fucking Laios, isn't it? Oh man. I don't know. Unless Fallen is somehow the winged sword, that doesn't make any sense. It's gotta be him. It's Gensuke, man. And now it has a lion's face on it. It has transformed. The winged lion, guardian deity of this kingdom. I wonder when it did change. Maybe it was when the cleaners, as he says. Even now, through dreams and prophecies, it prophesies the future and guides us. But it has been imprisoned in the depths. Man, that's the ally we need to seek. One of those prophecies spurred him to leave for the surface, and it continues. He will defeat the lunatic magician and become the new ruler of this kingdom. No, no, no! Everybody goes like, no, it can't be. It wasn't chance, though. Will you give us your word? Will you promise us that you will take on this burden? All the shining eyes in the world, and all he can say is, please let me think about it. In his heart, though, he's already chosen that path long ago. But to make it so crystal clear like this is crazy. I can't just turn them down. You're giving them false hope. How do you know? How do you know? They don't need any of this. But they do it to continue on, to maintain a sense of meaning and community and purpose. There's something to be learned from that. You know? If you find yourself in a position where you don't really need to work in order to survive, you might find your life really empty. It's a hard thing because our culture promotes the pursuit of leisure, of time without work. And that's fair. Like, rest and time without work is nice, especially if you're so work-oriented and just, destroyed by doing too much. But we promote and pursue like leisure and the pursuit of pleasure as almost end game. Like that's what you work 60 years for, and then you retire and you can do nothing. And everybody's like, yay, you can do nothing. And a huge number of people who find themselves in that position find their lives dramatically empty. Like, what would you do for 100 years? You read all the books. You gotta find something, some way to keep on. And they seem to have done it through community, through everybody finding roles and continuing to live as they had before, even though they don't need to anymore. But in a world where life's pleasures, the food and stuff, lose their usefulness, Dungeon Meshi says that work maintains its value. That's really interesting, isn't it? I think it's a powerful idea. It's one that's hard to believe. Unless you've ever tried to, like, take a month off. Like, really fully take a month off, right? Oh, for the first few days, it's dope. You can do whatever you want. You can stay up late. You can play as many games as you want. You don't have to do anything. It's great. And then it's fucking empty. Ugh. And then it drags and drags. And at a certain point, you're just like, when's school start again, man? I hate it when it's happening, but at least it's something to do. Why persist in maintaining all of this for a millennia? They depended on them to stay sane and keep on living. It's an interesting piece of evidence or argument against the sort of results-oriented perspective toward your life. The results of their labor don't matter. They don't need to farm that food. They don't need to brew beer. It's just to have something to do. The process matters a lot, too. And both can be important. Like, if you're trying to feed people, the results matter. But if you're trying to grow as a person or just fill your time in a way that doesn't feel meaningless, learning to grow a plant is not a bad idea. Learning to make a thing that's hard to make, not a bad idea. To stay sane and to keep on living. I remember what you said to the orc chief. Huh? I don't. What did I say again? I need to go back and look at it. Okay, so the first part was the orc calls Laios out because he's sitting silently while they're making bread. What are you thinking, tall man? They say that anyone who defeats the lunatic magician will gain this whole castle. Why are you trying to go to the depths of the dungeon? When you gain the kingdom, what will you do? And he says, I've heard the story, but I've never thought of that. And he says, all adventurers are like you. I shudder to think of what would happen if you were to gain control of the castle. From now on, I'll think about the possibility of gaining this dungeon as I explore it, he says. Okay. I think that's all of it. It's a couple of lines over the course of a thing. First, that Laios hadn't been thinking about it before the orc brought it up, that he'd heard of the story but wasn't thinking about it. And second, that he would think about it as he moved onward. Interesting. Okay. And so then here with Senshi, Laios says, no, I don't know how it connects. Why do they have them? It must be because they depended on them to stay sane and keep on living. Laios, I remember what you said to the orc chief. Huh? What did I say again? Well, you should sleep on it for a night. Huh. So we sort of diverge from that part of the conversation and jump back to it when Senshi says that. Interesting. Got a choice to make now, don't you, Laios? Yes, you do. Okay, he's on a path. He's on a path. And we'll see if he ends up following it all the way to its destination. Let me check Sakagaburu really quick. There wasn't a lot that super stood out to me about this episode, minus the little fairy flying around and stuff. But that's cute. Cracking the egg. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, this whole scene with the little the white like dripping up out of the eggshell, and it's beautiful. Ayako Ishihara drawing our Minotaur, or at least this hand-on snoot. Emi Tamura These are panning shots across the squad and some of Kabru's expressions and some of hers. Oh, wow. She gets really surprised when he stands up. Yeah. Ah, I loved the way that that fabric looks. Just in that one moment. It ain't free Ren, but it's nice. Pet, 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 pet. Meow, wow, wow, wow. What a cute kitty. Porky, Porky. And the cuteness, and the cuteness, and then her face. I love that. Show oi. Oh, yeah, with the faces and the sparkles. I'm not sure about this, guys. Yoshitaka Mano. Just slow zoom, and then the raised hands, and some more faces and expressions and stuff. Cool. Everybody here, Hidenori Makino and Artist Unknown. Yeah, some nice moments with the pillows being thrown, a thwomping in. This whole conversation portion just flows really well, I think. And finally, holding on to Izutsumi and looking up at the hand. Oh, and the little sparkles. And yeah, that's beautiful. That moment at the very end when she sort of unfurls the fingers. That's really cool. It just demonstrates like a dexterity and a capacity for drawing hams. That's neat. Okay, a great episode of Dungeon Meshi, I think, really expands my view on what's going on in the series and honestly changes what's going on in the series. Stuff is happening on the surface now that actually may influence what's going on down below. It all feels connected. It's really cool. We'll have to see how it actually connects and whether we are under some kind of threat given the elves' presence on the surface. But we'll find out about that next time on Dungeon Meshi next week. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. I hope that this one, I mean, it like weirds me out a little bit because I don't understand parts of it. Like, is that an ethereal realm or is it like a literal layer of the dungeon? Or we got pulled there through walls by ghosts. How do we get there? But in a different way, it kind of doesn't matter. We get all this information and all this intrigue and this knowledge that all these people are still living maybe not their best lives, but the best lives they can within the confines of the dungeon for 1,000 years. And all those people are waiting and hoping that a man with a winged sword will come and capture the dungeon and free them from their eternal torment. Is it going to be Laios? It sure seems like he's the chosen one. We'll find out next time. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next week for more early access on the Patreon. Much love. Peace.